Before starting, I'll go ahead and tell you that I used to have a lot more figures than this until I actually donated most of my Legos to the neighborhood kids. What a huge mistake. Anyways, these are my remaining LEGO Star Wars Sith minifigures, so let's go ahead and get into it. I'm sure all of you noticed Slave Leia right here, and I do have to admit she actually has nothing to do with this video. She is clickbait. I did it for the views. Okay, now that Slave Leia is gone, we can all focus without getting too distracted. I'll go ahead and point out the Imperial Guards, who aren't Sith, but I figured were appropriate to include in this video as they weren't in the previous droid or clone trooper collection, and they do serve closely alongside the Emperor, I think even coming in the same sets. You'll notice I have the older gray version as well as the black version on the right. Along with those two Imperial Guards, we have Grand Moff Tarkin right here, who isn't officially a Sith, but he's angry enough to be one, and if he wasn't killed in the Death Star, I wouldn't be surprised if he was. Next we see Emperor Palpatine on the far left. This version was released in 2000 through 2003 and appeared in 3 different sets, with the first being the Star Wars #1 Sith Minifigure Pack 3340, the Imperial Shuttle 7166 in 2001, and the Final Duel 7200 in 2002. What an ugly face. Next to Palpers, we have Darth Maul, who has a little bit of a faded face due to play in the past. He came out in 5 different sets between 1999 and 2009. The first set was the Star Wars #1 Sith Minifigure Pack 3340, the Sith Infiltrator 7151 in 1999, the Lightsaber Duel 7101 also in 1999, and then in the Magnet Pack that came out in 2009. Now the figure was the same in the 2007 and 2009 versions, although they did introduce the crown piece that goes on top of the figure's head, whereas in the original sets he was released with a black hood. You might also notice that he has a black lightsaber hilt. That wasn't how he was released, I just switched that over because I think it looked cool. Next to Darth Maul we have Count Dooku. The original Count Dooku figure was only released in 1 set in 2002, Jedi Duel 7103. Although you might notice if you're familiar with the figure, this is actually not the correct headpiece or torso. The headpiece was a different one that I've since lost and replaced with one that I think is a pretty good alternative. And you might notice a little bit of nougat coloring right here for the more modern flesh. This is actually the torso for the Count Dooku from the Clone Wars sets, and those were released between 2009 and 2012 in 3 different sets. In 2009 there was Count Dooku's Solar Sailor 7752, as well as a Comic-Con collectible Display Set 4 in 2009, plus the Malevolence in 2012, which was set 9515. You might also notice that he does not have his iconic curved lightsaber hilt, and unfortunately I just had to use a standard lightsaber hilt in its place. I'd also like to point out my General Grievous minifigure, which is not technically a Sith, but I felt like fit in this minifigure collection as well. He was first released in 2005 in General Grievous Chase 7255, as well as in 2007 in General Grievous Starfighter 7656. The only difference between these 2 releases were the 2005 version actually came with a cape, while the 2007 version did not. I've gone ahead and moved the other figures out of the way so we can get a better view. We're going to take a look at this hologram print Emperor Sidious. This is on a standard 1x2x5 trans blue clear brick next to the original Emperor Sidious. I think they did a really good job on this, and I really appreciate the matching details, especially on the tunic and face that look very similar. I personally think this is a really cool piece, and they even have a print on the back as well with more vertical lines indicating that this is in fact a hologram. Really cool in my opinion. Last but certainly not least, we'll go ahead and take a look at our 2 Darth Vader figures. We can tell the one on the left was the original release, which appeared in 5 sets between 1999 and 2003. The first set was TIE Fighter and Y-Wing in 1999, 7150, followed by Star Wars #1 Sith Minifigure Pack in 2000, 3340. Then in 2002 we got Final Duel 1, 7200, as well as in 2002 we got TIE Fighter and Y-Wing reissue version, 7152. And then in 2003 we had Cloud City 10123. Next to the original Darth Vader figure is the LEGO Darth Vader Death Star torso. He was released between 2008 and 2010 and actually appeared in 3 different sets. Those sets were the 2008 Death Star Ultimate Collector Series 10188. Then in 2009 we had both Darth Vader's TIE Fighter 8017 and the Comic-Con Collectible Display 5 2009 version, which appeared at San Diego Comic-Con as another exclusive. Notice both figures have identical helmets but different torso prints, and you can also Notice the extreme fraying and wear on the cape over time on these classic Lego cloth capes. Removing those helmets, we can take a better look at the heads up close. You can see the original figure on the left has a kind of stunned, hurt look, while the one on the right has a much angrier expression with more scars in a couple different colors. I do like both of these versions. I think the Death Star version does have a much more detailed torso, although I find myself enjoying the original, especially as he's the version that appears in the Lego Star Wars games. So that pretty much completes my Lego Star Wars minifigure Sith collection. If you like, please leave a comment below and let me know what you'd like to see next. If you haven't already, go ahead and check out the Droid minifigure collection and Clone Trooper Stormtrooper minifigure collection. I plan to do a Lego Jedi collection in the future, as well as a Bounty Hunter collection video. So thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye! You can see, taking a little bit of a closer look, the car is about 24 studs long and about 8 studs wide.